but I'm talking about similarities. I would create an argument to say that Jaden Miava, in his first 2 years of college football, the first year at UNLV and the second year at USC, has a very similar trajectory as our very own Carson Palmer.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I want to reiterate to everybody. He's not saying this is exactly how it is, but because me and Jay Walk been talking about this. There are some similarities, not only with the team, but then the quarterback play. And Jay Walker's get ready to break this down for you completely. So don't get lost in the sauce and take it and twist it. Listen to closely what Jay Walker's saying real quick.
They're ready to burn. They're ready to burn. The villagers are marching with the torches. They're going to burn it down. Burn the whole thing.
Hey, by the way, Jay Walk, I did send the stats to you. I looked some stats up. Yes. And so we talked about some stats, but we're just talking about similarities between quarterbacks and some struggles versus overcoming struggles.
And it's true. And I'm not a huge statistician. I'm talking about the feeling, the understanding, how they navigated the game, their trajectory of growth, and just tracking their development. Carson Palmer ended up being a Heisman performing quarterback, but he did not start that way. Do you guys remember what the media used to say about him in 1997, 1998, before the 2000s? Oh, man, we got to get him out of here. This dude's a bust. Oh, my gosh. He makes poor decisions. He throws too many interceptions. He's slow. He's flat-footed. He doesn't make the right read. He stares down his receiver. I was a young man reading these clips, reading all this press about Carson. I was there when they were like, Matt Castle's the next coming. I was there when they were like, we're bringing in Matt Leinart to take Carson Palmer out. I read all that stuff, guys. And USC was screaming for the same thing. Get him out of there. We want Leinart. We want Castle. It takes time sometimes. And I'm not just saying that Jaden Miava is that person. I don't know. Only God knows. But Jayden knows in his heart what he's capable of. The coaching staff sees what they see within him. But I will argue that if you look at the stats, there are many similarities to their first 2 years of college football. Not to mention that Carson had the luxury of staying in the same system until Coach Carroll came in. And then he got a quarterback developer like Norm Chow, like Lane Kiffin, like Sark. Those guys came in and drastically filled in the gaps for the pieces that he was missing, which now I fully believe with my whole heart that Lincoln Riley bringing in a defense and defensive specialists who can give the looks that Jayden needs to understand where to place the ball, because we see he has the arm talent. We see that he has the decision-making ability once he feels comfortable. And now he has a whole season, off-season prep with his skill set, not a makeshift play package just because he got thrown in at the tail end of the season. And now we're only giving him a limited playbook because he didn't get a chance to play through the whole season. So all I'm saying is give the guy a chance to get developed with now the looks that he will most certainly see and recognize in game. Okay? And I do believe that Jaden Miava and Carson Palmer have a similar start to their story. I'm not saying I have the crystal ball and know how it's going to end, but I'm just saying look at the stats. Look at the stats. Look at the yards. Look at the TDs they've thrown. Look at the interceptions they've thrown. Look at the game management. Look at the win-losses. SC was very similar at that time. And lo and behold, we went 6-6 in 2001. That very next year, I think we only lost 2 games that season, and we end up winning the Orange Bowl against Iowa. Carson wins the national the Heisman Trophy, and then the next season we go in as national title contenders. Then we go and we run the table. We go undefeated. Or did we lose? Oh, we lost one to Michigan that year. I'm sorry. We lost against Cal in triple overtime or something like that. And we knew that we had the pieces. I feel the same excitement as what I'm telling you guys.
Right.
The coaching staff, the quarterback with that experience, he's thrown enough picks now. He's thrown enough touchdowns now to recognize, I got this, I could do this. We have a quarterback developer who says, okay, I see this live arm. I see where I can fill in the blanks. Now let's bring in the supporting staff. Let's get this GM in. Let's get this actual defensive culture to give our offense the challenges that they need in games. We got the tall receiver that's declared, like we had Mike Williams, Dwayne Jarrett, Patrick Turner. The shorter receiver who can make plays on the inside, like we had Kerry Colbert, Steve Smith, like we had. So I could just fill in the blanks, man. I could just
Absolutely. And so there are, and I'm gonna send a link here in just a second, and you guys can start waiting back there, but because we're gonna go for about an hour. But give us some time real quick. So now that we kind of see, and you as well, you played on the team with Carson Palmer, the similarities. So now we got to flip it to this Hassan Long Street. Like, what I saw in the Polynesian Bowl was absolutely phenomenal. But I need you to kind of to talk about as well, how realistic is it for somebody like him with his skill set to actually come in there and compete for a starting spot? Will he push Jaden Miava? That's one part of it. But then the other part is the speed of the game. And then, of course, learning the playbook. You know, how different you think it'll be for him to catch up with the speed of the game, number one. And then the playbook aspect of it. Do you think he can grasp all that? Because what I saw in the Polynesian Bowl, he looked unbelievable.
Yeah, he did. He looked really phenomenal. And I saw flashes of that in like the second round of the high school playoffs, where he took out a school that's local to my area. And they were like one of the top three. They were top three. I think they were ranked number 3. And he took them out single-handedly, basically. So I was like, whoa, that's who we got at SC? Yeah, that's going to be nice. So to answer your question, I believe that as constructed right now, that Hassan Long Street could start in college football, just about 95% of the programs out there, including USC. Now, do I think that's a good idea? Unfortunately, I don't, because we have recency bias, we have selective memory and selective amnesia. We choose to forget the things we don't like, and we choose to focus on the things that we do like and think that that is how it always is and always has been.
Yeah.
We also only remember what have you done for me lately.
Right.
That is an improper mindset to have overall when it comes to developing young people, young men particularly. So give a guy like Hassan Longstreet an opportunity to learn through proxy, through being in proximity of what's happening, to see the speed of the game from the sideline so he can develop his coach's eyes, his coach's lens, and then also broadcast and project what he would do in game situations, in game scenario, without being under the physical trauma of duress, stress, and the pressure of taking on the mantle. Like, let the kid learn his classes first before you force him to
for real,
manage a whole team. Let the team understand how to get from the sloss and swap meet back